Good morning po everyone. Good morning po sa unang nag-comment, Sister Joanna Lee. Good morning and please do let me know if there are any problems when it comes to our audio. Or nakalimutan ko palang mag-ilaw. Okay, there you go. Morning, Sir Joseph and Tita Vicky, Sister Lua. Good morning po. By the way, before we start, I would just like to let everyone know that in the Independent Baptist Church of Siem Reap is tawag dito, making a full blast online ministry po. So that would be nandito po sa page, just navigate diyan po sa page yung mga online ministries po namin. Meron pong video dyan you can share, and you can also see how you can help our online ministry here at the Independent Baptist Church of Siem Reap. We have several pages. Nandun din po ang information ng mga pages namin. Iba-ibang ministry po ang focus ng bawat page. So please do check that out. Good morning to my mom din po. Tawag dito. And also included po dito sa online ministries na to will be monthly evangelistic meetings. So that means kung meron po kayong mga friends na gusto niyo pong ma-share ng gospel, please do let us know. We'll let you know how papaano po natin to gagawin. And also, karon din po tayo ng monthly conferences with themes po. So please do pray for that. Help us pray for that na maging blessing po. And also, this is something na, of course, hindi po namin to ginagawa as a substitute para po sa physical gatherings and talagang yung personal ministry. That can also be done. Of course, that is the primary focus. But right now, with many restrictions, kakatapos lang din po ng ating Casting the Virtual Net Conference, and that was a success. So dami po ng mga restrictions na we are going to adjust, we're going to adapt, and we're going to do this by the grace of God. Good morning, Tita Irene and Millie. So today, we will start chapter 7. And patapos na po tayo dito sa book of Esther, and we are already at the ito na tayo sa climax ng story. Kung kung tutusin pa sa pelikula, ito na yung mga moment na talagang hindi ka na pwedeng mag-CR. Hindi ka na pwedeng tumayo dahil mangyayari na yung mga mahalagang pangyayari, and today may kita natin yan. Yung pangyayari na talagang yung pinaka bumasag sa spirito, sa bad attitude, bad character, and bad spirit of Haman. Pero po bago yan, sana po na-share nyo na po yung video natin. I-like nyo po. Please do react and comment kung nanonood ka. Let us know you're watching. And also please do share this video. That would be a great help po para po mas marami pa po tayong maabot ng salita ng Panginoon. Good morning din po kay Lovejoy de la Cruz. Sabi po dito sa verse 1 and 2 ng chapter 7, so the king and Haman came to the banquet with Esther the queen. Verse number 2, and the king said again unto Esther on the second day at the banquet of wine, what is thy petition, Queen Esther? And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? And it shall be performed even to the half of the kingdom. And kung maalala niyo po, kahapon umuwi si Mordecai na hiyang-hiya sa sarili niya, naka-cover ang kanyang ulo. Umuwi siya, and then kinikwento niya sa kanyang asawa at sa kanyang mga kaibigan kung ano nangyari. Si Haman pala, kinikwento niya kung ano nangyari, and sabi ng asawa niya at mga kaibigan niya, masamang pamahiin yan, masamang senyales yan, siguro katapusan mo na. Which is, hindi ko sinasabi yung superstition nila that it works or what, but this time it is right. Totoo yung sinabi nila, katapusan na talaga ni Haman. Pero bago pa matapos yung usapan nila, dumating na yung mga tauhan ng hari at sabi, nagmamadali yung king, you need to go to the banquet. Tara na, alis na tayo. So Haman, yung attitude na papunta dun sa banquet is different from the first banquet. Yung first banquet, medyo masaya siya, medyo may kayabangan, hindi pala medyo, maraming kayabangan. Pero ngayong second banquet, papunta niya, just one day apart, ibang-iba ang kanyang aura, ibang-iba yung kanyang attitude. And this is because siya ay bagsak, siya ay malungkot dahil ang Panginoon ay binibigyan na siya ng paghuhusga. So anong sabi sa banquet? So nakakain na, nakainom na yung king. Sabi niya kay Esther, ano ba talaga ang kailangan mo? Ano ba talaga ang gusto mong i-request sa akin? Kahit kalahati ng kingdom, I'm going to give it to you. Remember, this is already the third time na sinabi ng king kay Esther na ibibigay ko sa iyo kahit at kalahati ng kingdom. The first time is when Esther approached him, and then he handed out the golden scepter. And then sabi niya, Esther, anong kailangan mo? Even half of the kingdom, I will give it to you. Sabi ni Esther, no, punta ka sa banquet na pinipare ko. So first banquet, sabi niya, anong gusto mo? Even half the kingdom, I will give it to you. And now here in the second banquet, which is the third time na inoffer ng king kay Esther, even half of the kingdom, I'm giving it to you. And remember, this is kung hindi po natin na-realize, etong offer ni Xerxes or nung hari kay Esther is something that is tempting. Okay, sabihin na natin na nandito tayo sa sitwasyon ni Esther. Ibibigay sa atin yung kalahati ng kingdom. Definitely, meron akong magagawa para i-reverse yung law na pwedeng patayin yung mga Hudyo because half the kingdom is mine. Right? I am just that much more powerful than I was yesterday. But we will realize here that Esther, hindi yan yung focus niya. Hindi niya focus yung material blessing, hindi niya focus yung power, hindi niya focus yung fame, hindi yan yung mga tinitignan niya. Ang focus ni Esther is kung ano yung task niya para matulungan niya yung mga tao ng Panginoon, and she knows exactly what she needs to do. So hindi siya nadidiskarel doon sa kanyang focus, doon sa kanyang task para sa Panginoon. Kadalasan po diyan tayo nagfe-fail. We do have a focus. We do have minsan clear na tayo sa will ng Panginoon sa buhay natin. Clear na tayo sa dapat natin ginagawa sa buhay natin. But we'd have to realize that the devil will always throw sa harapan ng ating mga mata half of the kingdom. Or lagi tayong o-offeran ng pera. Lagi tayong o-offeran ng power. Lagi tayong o-offeran ng fame. And kung whatever works sa atin, and the devil will always throw that in front of us. And our job is to be like Esther. Hindi tayo mawawala sa ating goal. Hindi tayo mawawala sa ating focus, and hindi tayo mawawala sa kalooban ng Panginoon sa buhay natin. Madaling sabihin, pero mahirap po yan. Why? Because kadalasan nakikita po natin, marami tayong mga nakilala na, or maybe tayo, minsan sa buhay natin, we are being used by God, we're doing the will of God, and then the devil will offer us something that is really difficult to refuse, and then we'll take it, mapapalayo na tayo sa kalooban ng Panginoon. Baka meron tayong mga kilala na dahil dyan, hindi na nakabalik sa kalooban ng Panginoon, hindi na nakabalik sa serbisyo ng Panginoon. Why? Kasi po minsan, nakaka-tempt talaga. Minsan, bibigyan pa tayo ng reason. Katulad nito, half of the kingdom for Esther, matutulungan niya ang mga Hudyo. And she can do something about it. But that is not the will of God na gawin niya. Even though it might work, even though it makes sense, even though it is practical, even though yun naman talaga isa sa mga magandang paraan, or maybe yan ang talagang paraan ng Panginoon. And yet, Esther, hindi siya nagbago. Bakit? Anong sagot niya? Verse 3 and 4, sabi, Then Esther the queen answered and said, If I have found favor in thy sight, O king, and if it please the king, let my life be given me at my petition, and my people at my request. For we are sold, I and the people and my people, to be destroyed, to be slain, and to perish. But if we had been sold for bondmen and bondwomen, I had held my tongue, although the enemy could not countervail the king's damage. So this is the very first time that Esther is identifying with her people. Remember, up until now, the king hindi niya alam na Jew pala si Esther. Up until now, Haman doesn't know that Esther was a Jew. And then yung mga tao sa palace, nobody knew that Esther was a Jew. And ito ay instruction sa kanya ni Mordecai. Huwag ka magpapakilala ng Hudyo because it may cost you your life. But right now, wala nang choice. Remember, sabi sa kanya ni Mordecai, magpakilala ka man o hindi, madelikado man ang buhay mo, hindi, talagang delikado na ang buhay natin because of this law that was passed by Haman and the king. We can be killed. just a few months from now, people will come for us and kill us at kukunin yung ating mga ari-arian. That's why nagpakilala na si Esther. I am please. We have been sold. We are bond men. We are bond women here. We are your servants. But right now, our lives are in danger. Kaya sabi ng king, I will give you half the kingdom. Pero sabi ni Esther, hindi yan ang gusto ko. I want you to give me back my life. Why? Because someone is taking our lives from us. Because as of this moment, lahat po ng mga Jews right now, in their minds, our lives are over. Tapos na. Why? Wala kaming magagawa. We cannot defend ourselves. We cannot save ourselves because darating ang araw na tinakda ni Haman na kaming lahat ay papatayin. So right now, our lives is just gone. Kaya sabi ni Esther, I want you to give me back my life. Imagine kung anong nararamdaman ni Haman at this very moment. Diba? Bakit si Haman, of course, alam natin na nagalit si Haman sa mga Hudyo because of Mordecai and because of the history as well. Pero nung pinasa niya yung law, he wants all the Jews to be killed. Ngayon na kumakain sila, kaharap niya yung queen and king, biglang nalaman niya that Esther is a Jew. Siguro nasa isip ni Haman, pambihira, malas na akong buong maghapon na ito. Lalo pa akong minalas. Kung of course, hindi tayo naniniwala sa malas. Pero kung totoo man ang malas, yan na yun. Di po ba? And of course, we know that this is the judgment of God kay Haman. Pero just imagine yung agony sa kanyang isip. Just imagine yung agony na kanyang nararamdaman. Sigurado sinabi niya, nako, patay na. Wala na. So, yung ginawa kay Mordecai, pwede kahihiyan lang yun. Pwede ko pang malagpasan or what. Pero ito, hindi ko na ito malalagpasan. I didn't realize na tinrik ko yung king to kill his own wife. Wala na. That is the end. And I'm sure the king is also slowly realizing na pambihira, I have a part in this. Nagpaloko ako kay Haman. Ako ang pumayag na patayin ng mga Hudyo. Hudyo pala yung asawa ko. You know, yan yung delikado sa mga tao na rush nag-rush mag-decide sa mga importanteng bagay. Remember, minadali nila tong desisyon na to dahil sa galit ni Haman, dahil sa favor na gustong ibigay ng ni Xerxes kay Haman. And agad nilang pinasa itong law na ito. Sabi sa verse number 5, and the king Ahasuerus answered and said unto Esther the queen, who is he and where is he that dares presume in his heart to do so? Sabi nung king, sinong magpapapatay sa mga Hudyo? Sino magpapatay? Sabihin mo nga sa akin sinong gumawa nito. Hindi ba niya alam na siya ay kalahati, 50% of that responsibility ay nasa king mismo? Pero nakalimutan na niya. Why? Because yung ganitong klaseng decision sa buhay niya, papatayin ng mga tao, wala naman talagang halaga sa kanya ang buhay eh. Wala naman talagang halaga sa kanya itong mga to. All he thinks about na pag-aralan na natin is money, money, money. And binayaran siya ni Haman. That's why Haman is in that position of power at siya ay naloko ni Haman. So, now si Haman tahimik up until this time. Bakit? Nag-iisip na siguro ng paraan. Nag-iisip na siguro siya ng sasabihin niya. Ano sabi ni Esther, verse number 6? And Esther said, the adversary and the enemy is the wicked Haman. So kung ito yung sa pelikula, ito na yung pinaka, yung may sound of dan, 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 yung mga talagang mapatatayo yung balahibo mo. Just imagine that kind of awkward dinner. Silang tatlo nandyan, sabi ni Esther sa kanyang asawa, the king, meron nagpapatay sa amin, someone's going to kill me, someone's going to kill my people. Sabi nung nagagalit yung king, remember, lasing din siya during this time. Sino yung nagpapatay sa iyo? Sabihin mo. Yan, yung katabi mo. Yang kasama natin kumakain. Kaya pala si Esther, ang instruction sa kanya, of course, ang leading sa kanya ng Panginoon, as hindi lang yung king ang invite ko to eat, kasama rin si Haman. And the reason why I am not taking half of the kingdom is because what I want is for the Jews to be saved, but also for Haman to be removed from his position of influence. Because kahit na maging half of the kingdom kay Esther, as long as Haman is still in a position of influence, pwede pa rin niyang i-diskeril lahat ng plano pwede pa rin niyang tawag dito, istorbuhin or gawan ng masamang plano ang mga tao ng Panginoon. Kaya nga po ang ginawa ang ginawa ni Esther dito. Sino? Sabi ng king, it is that wicked Haman. Then Haman was afraid before the king and queen. Wala na. Tapos na. Ang buhay ni Haman. He knows about it. Alam na niya. Ito na yon. I knew that the God of Israel is the true God, but I have not proven it up until now. Pero ngayon, sa lahat na nangyari sa kanya, remember, this is just in a span of one day. I remember Job nung siya ay inallow ng Panginoon na i-test ni Satan in a span of in a very quick span. I do believe one day din ito. In the span of this one day, lahat na wala kay Job. Pero dito rin kay Haman, in a span of one day, at least one day, early in the morning hanggang ngayong dinner, nakita ni Haman all his life, his money, his power, his influence, hindi pala siya kayang iligtas pag ang Panginoon na ang humusga sa kanya. Walang ligtas. He is powerful, pero he knows na hindi na niya ito malalagpasan. He has a lot of money, but he knows he cannot bribe the king and the queen at this moment. He has a lot of influence, but he knows every prince of Persia will not be able to help him anymore. Kaya nga po kung meron po nakikinig sa amin ngayon na hindi pa po ligtas, wala pa pong personal na relationship sa Panginoon. You might be rich, you might be kind, you might be the best person in this world, you might have influence, you might have power, pero when it comes to the time when God will judge you, when it comes to the time na kukunin na ng Panginoon ang buhay mo, and death is sure. Death is an appointment. Pagdating po sa panahon na yan, your money will not be able to save you. Your influence will not be able to save you. Your power or your education, your good works will not be able to save you in front of the judgment of this righteous judge, which is our God. Kaya nga po, huwag po tayo magtiwala doon. Now, Haman is realizing that he is dead. Sa mga nagjo-join po pala dyan, to my dad, Pastor Antonio, kay Joshua, good morning po sa inyo. So Haman realizes this. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes chapter 8 verse 11, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Bakit daw yung mga tao na masama ay patuloy gumagawa ng masama? Because they think they get away with it. Why? Ang tagal na ng buhay ni Haman, he's been getting away with all the things na ginagawa niya masama. Pero just because they're getting away with it doesn't mean na hindi napapansin ng Panginoon ang ginagawa nilang masama. Hindi ibig sabihin na hindi napapansin ng Panginoon at hindi sila paparusahan ng Panginoon. Haman is realizing that he's been getting away with it, but that doesn't mean na walang pagbabayaran si Haman. And now he's realizing lahat ng kanyang ginawa, pagbabayaran niya just at this moment. You cannot get away with those things. The Bible says, whatsoever you sow, you will reap. You are unbeliever or believer ka man, lahat po yan ay aanihin natin. And Haman is reaping all of these things at napakasaklap na mangyayari. Basahin lang natin yung verse 7 and verse number 8 bago tayo magtapos. I know na medyo nag-overtime tayo. And the king arising from the banquet of wine and his wrath went into the palace garden, and Haman stood up to make request for his life to Esther the queen, for he saw that there was evil determined against him by the king. Then the king returned out of the palace garden into the place of the banquet of wine, and Haman was fallen upon the bed whereon Esther was. Then said the king, will he force the queen also before me in the house? As the word went out of the king's mouth, they covered Haman's face. Bukas, i-elaborate natin ito nangyari. Pero kwento ko lang ngayon. Lumabas yung king because he's mad. Galit siya sa kanyang nalaman. Maybe he feels guilty as well. Naglalakad siya, iniisip niya ang gagawin niya. Ito na last chance ni Haman. Nagmakaawa na siya kay Esther. Pumunta siya dun sa couch or maybe sa bed kung saan nakaupo si Esther. Nagmamakaawa siya, please spare my life. Pero pagbalik nung king, di ba? Ang Panginoon nag-direct nito. Remember, Panginoon nagdi-direct lahat ng circumstances. Parang yung sa mga pelikula ng Pilipinas. Tuwing na lang merong kabet yung lalaki. Laki-laki ng Pilipinas pero laging nagkikita yung kabet tsaka yung girlfriend o yung asawa. Ang galing talaga. Pero ganito rin yun. While Haman was on the bed, nagmamakaawa sa queen, saktong pumasok yung king at kala niya may ginagawang masama si Haman dun sa kanyang asawa. At sabi nung king, pati ba naman ang asawa ko kukunin nito? Wala na, patay na. Talagang lalo, para bang lalo pa niyang binaon yung sarili niya. Tomorrow, titignan natin yung continuation ng story and what will happen to Haman, what will happen to Esther, and more importantly, ang focus ng ating study, what will happen to Mordecai sa lahat ng pangyayari po na ito. So I hope this helps you today. I hope na ma-share niyo po yung video. Ibaunin po natin itong mga principles na ito this whole day. Apply po natin sa buhay natin. Let us meditate upon them po. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow. Same time, 8:30 a.m. God bless you po.